He's the complete opposite of the world of the film. He's Oxford studied heart trauma surgeon, and he is engaged to Shalini, who's the daughter of one of the two fighting brothers, and is kind of he's kept apart from her family for all of their 2-year relationship, and is a little concerned that, you know, entering into an Indian family, whether they would, a very, very traditionally Indian family, how they would react to this flouncing English tart coming into their world. It's really nice to see an Anglo-Asian film that isn't about arranged marriage. It's about much more than that, and it's more about the characters rather than the situation that you see in lots of Anglo-Asian films. And it's very funny. It's a very funny script, and it's just completely charming and nice. It's a good film. It's a good script. It's got a good heart to it. Amit's cool. Amit's really cool. I was aware of him from his theatre work, from the plays that he'd written, and of course Resistance is an excellent film. And he has a really nice calming influence on a set. He doesn't feel like he has to go and hurry and harass everyone, because he trusts that he's got a decent cast and a decent crew and lets them do their thing, and then he can just bring all of these amazing people together, and hopefully it all fits into place nicely. And when it does, it's largely because of him. I sit in my room and I desperately look at the lines again and again, and then I hope that they stay in. Tomorrow we're shooting with Adil Akhtar, who I'm just an enormous fan of. So I think preparation for that is just, you know, trying to stay calm, try not to be too overexcited about working with Adil, because he's just such a clever actor, and I'm sure he's got lots and lots of ideas, and so we, you know, just need to stay open to whatever he chucks into the ring. I think probably my favourite scene reading it was the scene that we shot a couple of days ago, which was me and Harish, who plays Shalini's dad, meeting for the first time. I knew that it was Harish playing it, which adds to the excitement when I was reading the script first. But also it's just a funny scene. It's got lots to it, lots of food. It's got lots of food, and it was I was just stuffed with food, and having to look at Harish and try not to laugh. But that was one of the scenes that stood out as one that I knew would be quite fun. As soon as he got off the plane from India, he came to set, and Amra and I were shooting a different scene. And Harish, you know, we'd all been anticipating his arrival and very excited. And he just walked in, probably a little bit tired from the flight, and just came up to me, and I put my hand out to say hello, and he just came up and gave me a cuddle. And I thought, I hope you cuddle me more. He's someone, I mean, it's very difficult not to tickle him. I just want to tickle him, and then maybe try and push him over. When you have to eat on screen, and you know, you have to do it so many times, so many takes, so many different shots, so you just hope that the food's good, because often, you know, it's been left on the side for the whole of the morning, and then they just put it in front of you and you have to keep pretending, but with each take you're trying to eat less. With this, I was trying to eat as much as I could. It was lovely. They got in a really amazing cook called Nicole to make this food look look and taste gorgeous, which you need because it's a film with a lot of food porn, and the food really does look erotic. It's it's sexy food. No, you only need to look at Roger's IMDb page and look down at everything that he's shot, and he's the man. I mean, to work with someone who shot, you know, Brazil, 12 Monkeys, the original Tim Burton's Batman, he's amazing. And to have him on a film like this, to have it on a small British indie, is what a treat. We're so lucky. It seems as though it's one of the best crews I've ever seen for this really nice small film. I don't think I'm alone in not really believing our luck. But he has a real knack of just making things look beautiful really easily. I think that's something that comes from, you know, decades of experience. There's the Golden Mile. And I think it must be a real treat for someone to photograph that. I mean, I'm sure Roger gets quite excited by suddenly, in the middle of this fairly normal town, there's this burst of life and colour and so many things happening. And he's the right person to capture that and make it look incredible. Because it's a film with a decent heart, and at the core of the story is a family wrongly split apart. You kind of, you know, you can expect that at the end they're going to get back together, and there are interesting enough characters to make it a good journey to that. But you know, from even when the brothers aren't talking and they hate each other, they're still good people, and I think that's really important. The family is really important here. He's a clever actor. I like him a lot, and a nice man. Again, it's someone with years and years of experience, and I mean, I don't know how many thousand Bollywood films he's done, but he knows how to work the camera in a Tyra Banks fierce kind of way, I suppose. Because it's a film with a really decent heart. It's nice to see a film like that, and it's very funny. It's got one of the best casts and crews that I've seen for ages, and I have complete faith that when we finish shooting, Amit and Eddie, our editor, are going to make something rather nice. There's a really good feeling on set. Everyone's very excited. Madhur Jaffrey is the queen of curry. She brought curry into the homes of most of the country. When I was about 15, in home economics class, I had to cook 2 of Madhur's recipes, which was, I remember them, a chana chat masala and Bombay potatoes, and I got an A star. And she actually, I mean, I really like cooking, and I think she probably started that. And it's going to be very difficult when I meet her not to try and kiss her. And food is what keeps families together, and it's so important to have, you know, family meals, and you get around and you get stuck in and you talk about things. And I think it's something that it's a shame when you see families who don't connect over food, because dinner's great. And this film, I mean, they're very lucky because all of the food looks incredible and it tastes amazing. Just before we started shooting, I came up to hang out with Amit and talk about the script, and I met Amra. This is the week before we started, and Amit took us to his mum's restaurant, which is the most amazing Indian food I've ever had. She's got a vegetarian restaurant on the Golden Mile. And it just blew me away, because it wasn't, you know, we always expect Indian food is just curry and rice and maybe a side. But hers just, there wasn't any curry or rice. It was just lots of amazing little things to pick at. And my God, I love it. I love it. And we keep trying to sneak off during lunch to go and eat at her restaurant, which is no comment on the caterers, but it's just an amazing place, and it's closing. It seems like this is a really nice retirement present to his mum, who had been 30 years, I think, she's run this restaurant. So from when Amit was a kid, and she retires this year. So to make a food about her community, and make a film about her community and an homage to her food, that's probably why it's so nicely heartfelt as well, because he loves his mum. Only someone who grew up here and understands this quite unique community and understands the food could have written this film. And Amit, you know, grew up here, and his mum's an amazing chef, so he's the perfect person to make the film, because he understands it, and he understands not only how beautiful it all is, but also, you know, the faults and the petty arguments between various restaurants and the competition, and understands the community really nicely.